again. All right. Hello everybody, my name is Roy West. I know I haven't met every one of you personally, and that's probably my fault, so I apologise. But I've only been here about 2 months, so hopefully that will continue. I learnt something valuable on Tuesday. Campbell rings, don't answer. No, Campbell rings and says, hey, can you do a presentation Thursday? You go, yes sir, and then you put the phone down and you go, oh, well now what am I going to do? But anyway, we got to there. 2 weeks ago, I was sitting in the chair watching, I forgot his name, what's his name? Justin. Thinking, who's the poor sucker that has to follow him after 2 weeks? And I thought, well, I'm down the track and he won't be back next week, and here I am. So I don't promise you to be anywhere near Justin's ability, but we'll try my best. What I wanted to do today was give you a quick 20-year summary in 5 minutes of where I've been, and then talk to you a little bit about the type of coaching that I do now. So I'm a business coach. Gordon in the room knows all about that because he was very much in the same space as I was 20 years ago. By the time I was 40, I'd started, run and sold 4 businesses. And it's a long story how I found out about coaching. The first statement I had is, why would somebody want to do that? And then 6 months later, I found myself in the coaching space. So Action Coach, did everyone know Action Coach? Action Coach started in Brisbane here with Brad, and that was that. By the time, over the next couple of years, we grew that business, and I was general manager of working with 19 coaches. It was an amazing atmosphere. It was an amazing place to be. A lot of enthusiasm, a lot of people learning what coaching was really about, and it really, what I understood about coaching accelerated dramatically, far more than had I been on my own. I moved on from Action after about 5 years, which wasn't unusual in those days, and I knew my biggest weakness was process. I just had no real process in my business and what I was doing. A lot of my early career was luck more than organisation, and I decided to team up with one of Australia's gurus in process, and we worked together for 5 years, and it taught me everything I needed to take that extra level in my business. But this is what happens to most business owners. They're bottlenecks in their own business, and you might see that in yourself sometimes, where you minimise you won't trust the process, and then you wonder why you're exhausted. And that's what we taught people to do, is get out of their way, set up processes, build businesses, and take them forward. Then I collaborated with another coach and set up a business called Business for Lawyers. And Business for Lawyers, you are here today, having not been here for last week. I don't think you were here.
Yeah, last week I wasn't here.
So Business for Lawyers, as the name suggests, was coaching lawyers, and we coach law firms all over Australia. Hate to admit it, but the girls were much more focused on improving their business than the boys. But we did that right across the thing. And the thing that we learned that you would think that lawyers who all come through the same education would have similar practices, similar challenges, and similar solutions, but they don't. And you might already know that, but they don't. And what became evident to me over that time was that every business reflects its owner. Every business reflects its owner. And that was an important lesson to where I am today. In 1994, I started a sailing business in the Whitsundays, and in 2018, my partner retired. And I had no real intention of going up there, but long story short, we did. We'd grown that business from 2 people when I started in 1994. Seems a long time ago, it was. We grew it to 50 staff, and it was a series of boats. So not little catamarans like you might be thinking, but larger commercial vessels. That's Solway Lass. It's 123 years old. It's the oldest continuously operating boat in the world, and we've owned that for 25 years. It was a great business, except Deanne's my partner. We took over the business, and we were told that we'd lost $500,000, partly because of Cyclone Debbie at the time, back in 2017. But I thought we could turn that around. 6 weeks later, the truth came out, and we owed $500,000. The world changed dramatically. And I had to take everything that I'd learned in coaching, everything that I'd told everybody else to do over a period of time, and put it back into my own business. The following 5 years I wouldn't wish on anybody. We had COVID shut down tourism. Some people in the room know what that was about. But we're at the pointy end of tourism. We had 90% of European travellers come to visit with us. We moved about 20,000 people a year, and it stopped in a week. It was fun. We had a boat burned down, and we had a 28-month law case, which we eventually won. It dragged the hell out of me, I can tell you. It was relentless, but we didn't quit. 2 years ago, we sold 6 of those boats. Solway we still have. And we got our life back and we moved to the Gold Coast, which was probably the best decision we'd ever made. And all through those sleepless nights, I was still coaching people. I grew an accounting firm from 4 people to 30. And we were helping others and understanding their perspective and what they were going through really helped me as a business owner as well. So that was important for what we were doing. And then I had an aha moment. Everyone's had an aha moment in their career. Yeah, if you haven't, you're still a chance. But I read a book called The Power of Habit. Has anybody ever read that book? Yeah, a couple of people have read The Power of Habit. Habits are very interesting things, right? But when you read I'll get into it a little bit more detail in a second. Everything clicked. All those years watching businesses grow, all the coaching conversations and all the patterns that I'd seen in business all sort of came together, and that helped me develop the unique framework you're about to see. Habits, they play a vital part in business. Is everyone aware of that? That the habits you have impact the way that you do things? Yeah? So I started researching, connecting the dots, and I realised there's 4 factors influence business. Your fears, your beliefs, we had a conversation about that the other day, someone and I. Your fears, your beliefs, your habits, and your ignorance. And you're thinking, oh, what's ignorance mean? Never been ignorant in your life? I don't mean stupidity. I mean the hidden patterns that sabotage success. Okay? So we've all got business blind spots. Can you remember that first car you ever drove? Mine was an Austin 1800. Great car, it was older than me when I got it when I was 20-something. There was only one problem, you couldn't see on the inside left-hand side. So it was a potluck decision to change lanes. And for many people in business, it's the same thing right now. You have blind spots, you don't know what they are, you can't see them, they're invisible to you. Other people can see them, often don't tell you about them, or can't crystallise exactly what they are and how they impact you. But those blind spots are sabotaging your success. Even if you think you're doing well, there's opportunities to do better. So these are unconscious patterns. How many times a day do you breathe? Anybody know the answer to that question? A lot. A lot's a perfect answer. 22 to 23,000 times a day you breathe. How often do you consciously think about it? The answer is not very often. Right? So there's a lot of things that you're unconsciously doing. 90% of the time, the decisions you make are on autopilot. Everything from what shirt you wear every day. I notice Campbell never changes his shirt. I don't know, I hope there's a couple of them. Let's just go back to habits for a second. In that book, they talk about 3 things. The cue, the action, and the reward, right? And that very much explains why at 3 o'clock and your blood sugar drops, you go for the Mars bar. Yeah, anyone's guilty of that? Yes. I know I am. Yes. You can see it right here. Yeah? But the cue is that your blood sugar drops, you start to get tired. The action is you walk to the shop, grab a Mars bar, or the fridge, grab the Mars bar. Karen doesn't eat Mars bars, but you'll get the whole concept here. The reward is the sugar rush. Yeah? The sugar rush, and that'll get you through till dinner. You've all experienced that in different ways, shapes or form. So that's what a habit is, right? And sometimes you'll get to the point where you've already got the Mars bar in your mouth before you've even thought about it. Yeah. What I'm doing now is we've developed 8 patterns, 8 business patterns. I've given you one today because I thought one's enough. I've only got 10 minutes. This guy's called the comfort zone trapper, because he's trapped in his comfort zone. So you've got, does everyone understand the concept of comfort zone? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's where you feel comfortable. So I just wanted to, I'm not going to read all that to you, and I'm happy to explain this to you in more detail, but I just want to run through an example of how this comfort zone is impacting this business owner's situation. Around 1 in 6 business owners, I don't know how many people we've got here right now, but about 1 in 6 business owners live in this world of the comfort zone trapper. So let's see what happens when a new team member approaches with a new idea. So immediately there's a little bit of excitement. Oh, this could be good for us. But that's followed by anxiety of, but what if it doesn't work? The routine is that they start analysing the risk. You starting to fill any home truths here yet? One in the front, there's a good start, right? You remember your past fails and you say, now's not the right time, yeah? The reward of that is there's an immediate relief. The anxiety goes away, yeah? The comfort of staying in your familiar territory, there's no risk of failure. If you don't try, you're not going to fail, yeah? And then, you think, in the back of your mind, you think you're being prudent and that you're being careful. The thing is, you're actually leading to your own stagnation, and people will run over you. What happens when that, the belief was that the risk is dangerous and leads to loss, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it, yeah? The fear was, what if it doesn't work? I'll lose money, I'll lose time, I'll lose reputation. And the blind spot is you can't see that staying put is the biggest risk. As I said, stagnation feels safe. So after 2 decades of coaching, this is what I've learned. That you can have the best systems, but if you're afraid to delegate, the systems won't work. Yeah? I won't read them all. If you have the best team, but you don't believe they can succeed without you, and you micromanage them, it's not going to work. Yeah? Blind spots are dangerous. Yeah? And so we've developed a blind spot method which can analyse to around about 90% accuracy what you are. Not perfect, and there are a lot of hybrids across those 8 things. I originally started this with 4, thinking, I've covered all bases. And then I've done about 400 odd studies, and I grew it to 8 really quickly because the 4 just didn't cut it. There's a lot more involved. But it's really exciting for me, after doing coaching for 20 years, to look at it this way. I used to look at coaching as, we'd, 1 minute? Okay, no worries. I used to look at coaching as, if I improve your sales leads and I improve your average dollar sale and we get more clients and you'll grow your business. Doesn't work. Not necessarily. Can work, doesn't always work. What does work is understanding your blind spot, pinpointing why you do what you do, and then looking at it differently. So I've got a new program that launches in January of 26, and I would hope, maybe, towards the end of January, maybe February, I can come back and just give you a bit more detail around that.
Yep.
This journey's taught me that the most powerful thing in coaching doesn't change, most powerful coaching doesn't change businesses. It changes people running them. And when you change the person, everything follows. Thank you, guys. When you write at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Are you saving questions?
Oh, sorry. For my prize, what I want to do, so I do a thing where I do the quiz and then there's an hour's follow-up from that, which is normally around $2.97. I wanted to give one away today if you guys are interested.
Hang on, I'm just looking for my card.
So right.
At least I was honest.
Oh, that's the
Not
wrong
here.
one.
Jason.
Not here. Read
No,
your-
Jason's not here.
I was going to get in Cairns or something like that. Is it?
Serena's not here.
Oh, she's not here anymore because she
Yes, Serena won't be coming back. Her timing isn't working with her husband's
changed
new
jobs or something.
job.
didn't
Karen
Yeah.
Lewis, she's here.
You'll get one anyway. I've got to pick this one card again.
Yes,
Where's the chance?
see?
Well, she got half a dozen in there. Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure mine's not Sharon's.
Oh my God. All right, Karen, it's yours.
Yay!